while it may seem simple on the surface, a buyer's agent is really your guide through the process. All right, let's talk about a question that's popping up everywhere right now. Should I pay my buyer's agent? For years, most home buyers in the United States never really thought about this most of the time. The seller typically covered the commission and the buyer's agent got paid from that. Easy, simple, done, right? But recently, things have been changing in the real estate world. Buyers are starting to hear something new. You may need to pay your own agent, and that raises a lot of questions. Is it worth it? What exactly does a buyer's agent even do? And could you actually buy a house without one? And so let's break this down in a way that makes sense. All right, first things first. What does a buyer's agent really do? Because a lot of people think their job is just opening doors at showings. A good buyer's agent does way more than that. They help you analyze pricing, they understand neighborhoods, negotiate offers, navigating contracts that are dozens of pages long. They are responsible for protecting your interests during one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Organizations like the National Association of Realtors emphasize buyer representation, specifically so buyers have someone on their side during the transaction. So while it may seem simple on the surface, a buyer's agent is really your guide through the process. So why is everybody suddenly talking about buyers paying their own agents? A big reason is recent changes connected to the Association of Realtors rules, commission rules. Historically, it was always negotiable. The seller usually paid the commission and it covered both agents, the listing and the buyer's agent. But new industry shifts, new laws, and transparency around commission, buyers are seeing those costs more clearly. In some cases, they may need to negotiate how their agent gets paid. That doesn't necessarily mean buyers will always pay out of pocket, but it does mean the process is more transparent. The buyers are becoming more aware of what services that they're paying for and that they're getting. All right, so let's talk about something really important here, negotiation. A strong buyer's agent sometimes can save you far more than their commission through a smart negotiation. They might negotiate a lower purchase price, request seller credits, or push for repairs after the home inspection. So without an experienced representation, buyers can easily overlook these issues that may cost thousands of dollars later. All right, so remember, the listing agent works for the seller. Their fiduciary is there. Their job is to get the best deal for the seller, not necessarily for you. So having your own agent means that you'll have someone entirely focused on protecting your interests during the transaction. Technically speaking, yes, you could buy a home without an agent. You don't need any agents at all. Some buyers will try to go directly to the listing agent or handle things themselves to save money. There may be a catch. Real estate contracts, inspections, negotiations, financing timelines. There are a lot of moving parts. So there are a lot of moving parts in a transaction. One mistake or one delay could cost you thousands. So many buyers still choose representation, even though they may have to discuss how their agent gets paid. For most people in the United States housing market, having guidance during that process is still incredibly valuable. It's good to ask. If you don't ask, you don't get an answer. All right, so here's the real answer to the big question. Should you pay your buyer's agent? Yes, end of video. Now, I might be biased. All right, but the better question might be, do you want a professional representation during one of the largest purchases of your life? But who is the agent? For many buyers, the expertise, negotiation skills, guidance of a strong agent that can provide, it makes the entire process smoother, less stressful. At the same time, the industry is evolving and buyers are becoming more aware of the process and how commissions work, what services they're paying for, etc. The key is to understand the value being provided and having an open conversation with your agent about expectations and compensation. Because when you're buying a home anywhere in the United States, clarity and good representation absolutely will make all the difference.